everyone. All right, first what you're going to start off with is a big pot, and I usually make quite a bit because my husband works long hours, so we'll eat it for dinner, and then he'll be able to take it to work and eat it a few times. So, and then a soup like this you can always eat for dinner and then have for lunch, in a couple days, or you can freeze some. So first thing, put the heat on low, and you're going to want to put some kind of oil in the pan. Now, if you want to go healthier, you can use coconut oil or olive oil, but I am going to be using Whirl, and this stuff is amazing. It's basically just like melted down butter. It's it has butter taste, but it's better, it says. So I'm going to use that so that I can get a good flavor in these vegetables. So I have probably 1 onion chopped here I'm going to add, and 4 carrots that were sliced. So I'm going to just wait and let those cook down and wait until they get tender. It may take quite a while, at least 10 or 15 minutes. I'll put a lid on it, and that's it. Okay, I ended up cranking the heat up on these. I don't leave it on low. I normally just start out with a low heat just for the oil to slowly come up. But I'm on a medium to high heat now, and I'm just waiting for these to get nice and start to get tender before I add the next ingredient. Alright, so my veggies are getting tender. They're not all the way done, but I am able to break them up with my spoon a little bit. So they're about halfway there. So right now I have some, you can use spinach or you can use a mix. I have this, it's cooking with spinach. It has spinach, baby bok choy, baby red and green chard, epinards, mini, whatever. I don't even know what all those are. Anyways, the spinach and baby bok choy got me. So I have like 2/3 of the bag I'm going to add in there. And I'm just going to let this cook down. And I know it looks like a lot, but this stuff really cooks down. So my pan's about halfway full now, and it's a pretty big pan. So I'm just going to mix it around and put the lid back on it and let that cook down, and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? Now I just put it in, and you can see my pan's pretty full. There's quite a bit in there, so I'm just going to let this cook down, and I'll show you what it looks like. I did end up adding the rest of that bag of the greens because it did cook down quite a bit, as you can see. Now it's all just in the bottom of the pan, and looks like everything is done, so I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my ingredients. Alright, so now that everything is cooked down nice and tender, I can go ahead and add my water and chicken broth and season it. I have 6 cups of water right here I'm going to add in. And then I don't use chicken broth like in the can. I buy this Better Than Bouillon chicken base. This stuff is delicious, and you can just keep it in the fridge, so it's you don't have to worry. I use it for everything. You need a teaspoon for every cup that you put in, so I'm going to put 6 in here. What are you doing over there? 5 and 6. This stuff lasts a long time too. It's cheaper. It's like, I don't know, maybe $6 for this or $5, but it's still a lot easier than buying, a whole bunch of cans of it. I'm going to put like a teaspoon of salt in here. I just kind of eyeball it. I like stuff really salty though, not that it's good for you, but you could always wait to put salt in at the end, or just put some in now and then, add more later. That's what I always do. And you're going to use about half the amount of pepper. So mix that up. Keep the heat the same. We're still on a medium to high heat. And just mix this up until that chicken base is all the way diluted in there. And then we're going to let this come to a boil. All right, my water is boiling now. I did crank it up because it was just taking too long on medium to high heat. So it is on high and it is boiling now. Now it's time to add the noodles. I have here gluten-free quinoa noodles. They are the Rotel, the spiral ones. And you don't have to use gluten-free, but they don't taste bad. These, I'm telling you, quinoa is not bad. That is definitely the way to go. The brown rice pasta gets all mushy. It's not my favorite at all. I don't mind it if it's like real thin noodles, but for this, no. Anyways, so I'm gonna add a whole box of this. It was 8 ounces off the top. Let that cook up. I have 2 boxes here. I wasn't sure how much I would need, but I still have more ingredients. So I think that 1 box will be good. I'm gonna let that boil. Once the noodles get soft, I will add some more ingredients. All right, my noodles are done now. Just so you know, if this is your first time cooking with gluten-free noodles, maybe you aren't even gonna cook with them, but if you decide to and this is your first time, gluten-free noodles do take a lot longer to cook than regular noodles, about double the time. So be patient, they will get soft, but they do absorb more water. So because of that, I had 6 cups of chicken broth in here. I'm just gonna add, and it is kind of on the stronger side, I'm just gonna add 2 more cups of water. So, I mean, there's no reason why I waited to add the water. So if you're doing this recipe and you wanted to add, you know, 6 cups of chicken broth and just 2 cups of water earlier like I did, that would be fine. So I just added that. The noodles are done now. I have 3 chicken breasts that I cooked ahead of time. I just baked them in the oven and chopped them up into little pieces. I'm gonna add. You do not have to add chicken if you are vegan. Absolutely not. I have beans here too that I'm gonna add. So,
can I have it?
Yes, you may. So I'm adding the chicken in, which is optional. My husband is more of a meat eater. I could go vegan, but I won't because of him. And I have 2 cans of Great Northern beans here, and they were rinsed. Definitely rinse your beans before you add them and drain them. So that is it. I'm just gonna stir it in and make sure everything gets cooked all the way through. If it's too thick or too thin, you know, you can always add like more beans or more chicken or more noodles. If it's, you know, too thin or if it's too thick, you can always add more water like I just did, or if it isn't strong enough, you can add a little bit more chicken broth. So that is it for the Tuscan soup. I hope that you try this and you like it. And the end result. As you can see, there's lots of green in there. Everything that we put in there is in there, but I just love that you can see green, and it's a really colorful dish.